To understand the story of the farmer who bought a well, start by learning about the characters. There is a farmer named Rakesh, his greedy neighbor Raghu, a great emperor named Akbar, and his wise minister Birbal. This story teaches us that being dishonest is not a good idea. Let's begin the story and see how wisdom can solve even the trickiest problems. A long time ago, in a small village, there lived a farmer named Rakesh. He was a simple and honest man. Rakesh worked very hard on his farm every single day. He had just bought a new piece of land to grow more crops for his family. He was very happy with his new farm, but there was one big problem. His new farm did not have a water source. His crops needed water to grow strong and healthy. Without water, all his hard work would be for nothing. His plants would dry up, and his family would have no food. Rakesh looked around his land and saw that his neighbor Raghu had a big well on his property. This well was full of fresh, clean water. Rakesh knew that this well was the perfect solution to his problem. Rakesh decided he needed to get water from that well. He thought about it for a while and came up with a plan. He would ask his neighbor Raghu if he could buy the well. Rakesh walked over to Raghu's house. Raghu was known in the village as a very greedy man. He always wanted more money and was not very kind to others. Rakesh politely greeted Raghu and explained the situation. He said, "Hello, Raghu. I have a new farm, but it has no water. My crops will die without it. I see you have a wonderful well. Would you be willing to sell it to me? I will pay you a fair price." Raghu saw an opportunity to make some easy money from the honest farmer. A sly smile appeared on his face. He thought he could trick Rakesh. Raghu, being a greedy man, quickly agreed to sell the well. He said, "Yes, Rakesh, of course. I can see you are in trouble. I will sell you my well." They discussed the price, and Rakesh, being honest and trusting, paid Raghu the full amount they agreed upon. Rakesh was very relieved and happy. He thanked Raghu and went back to his farm, feeling hopeful. He believed his water problems were finally over. He could now water his crops and provide for his family. He was excited to start using his new well the very next day. He did not know that his greedy neighbor Raghu had a dishonest plan in his mind. The next morning, Rakesh woke up early. He was excited to get water for his thirsty plants. He took a big bucket and walked happily towards the well he had bought. As he was about to lower his bucket into the well to draw some water, a loud voice stopped him. It was Raghu. He was standing there with an angry look on his face. "Stop right there, Rakesh. What do you think you are doing?" Raghu shouted. Rakesh was very confused. He replied, "I am just taking some water from my crops. I bought this well from you yesterday, remember?" Raghu laughed a wicked laugh. "Yes, you did," he said. "You bought the well, but you only bought the well. You did not buy the water that is inside it. The water still belongs to me." Rakesh was shocked and distraught. He could not believe what he was hearing. How could he own the well, but not the water inside it? It did not make any sense. He tried to reason with Raghu, but the greedy man would not listen. Raghu stood firm, blocking Rakesh from using the well. "You cannot take my water," Raghu insisted. Rakesh felt cheated and helpless. He had spent all his money on the well, and now he was being told he could not use it. His hopes were crushed. Feeling very sad and worried, Rakesh knew he needed help. He had heard stories about the great Emperor Akbar, who was known for being fair and just. Rakesh decided to travel to the emperor's court to seek justice. Rakesh traveled to the capital city and went to the grand court of Emperor Akbar. He bowed respectfully before the emperor and explained his entire story. He told the emperor how he had bought the well from his neighbor, Raghu, and how Raghu was now stopping him from taking any water. Emperor Akbar listened patiently to the poor farmer's problem. He understood that this was a tricky case. The emperor had a very wise and clever minister in his court named Birbal. Birbal was famous throughout the kingdom for his sharp mind and his ability to solve even the most difficult problems. Emperor Akbar turned to Birbal and said, "Birbal, this farmer has a serious problem. I entrust this case to you. Please ensure that justice is served. Burble accepted the responsibility with a nod. He called for both Rakish and Raghu to come to the court the next day. He told them to meet him at the well itself. The next morning, Burble, Rakish, and Raghu all stood beside the disputed well. Burble turned to Raghu and said, "Raghu, please explain your side of the story. Why are you not allowing Rakish to draw water from this well?" Raghu, feeling confident in his clever trick, repeated his argument. He said with a smirk, "Your Honor, it is very simple. I sold the well to Rakish. I did not sell the water inside the well. The water is mine, so he has no right to take it." Burble listened calmly, a thoughtful expression on his face. He nodded slowly, as if he understood Raghu's point completely. After hearing Raghu's clever argument, Burble smiled. He had a brilliant solution. He turned to Raghu and said, "Ah, I see. Your logic is very interesting, Raghu. If what you say is true, and the water in this well belongs to you, then you have a problem." Raghu looked confused. "What problem?" he asked. Burble continued, "Well, if the water is yours, you have no right to keep your water in Rakish's well. Rakish now owns the well. It is his property. Therefore, you are trespassing." Burble paused for a moment to let his words sink in. He then presented Raghu with two options. "So," Burble announced, "you must either remove all of your water from Rakish's well immediately, or if you want to keep your water stored in his well, you must start paying rent to Rakish for using his property." Raghu's jaw dropped. He was speechless. He realized that his clever trick had been completely outsmarted by Burble's even cleverer solution. He could not possibly remove all the water from the deep well. And the idea of paying rent to Rakish, the very person he was trying to cheat, was ridiculous. He knew he was trapped. His greedy plan had failed miserably. Feeling ashamed and defeated, Raghu bowed his head. He looked at Rakish and apologized for his deceit. "I am sorry, Rakish. You are right. I was wrong," he admitted. He confessed that his scheme had failed and that Rakish had every right to use the well. From that day on, he allowed Rakish to take as much water as he needed without any trouble. The moral of this story is that cheating and deceit will not pay off in the long run, and honesty will always prevail. Raghu tried to be clever and greedy, but his dishonesty was exposed by Burble's wisdom. Rakish, who was honest and sought justice, finally got what was rightfully his. This tale teaches